Hi there, Cara here. Thanks for joining me for the CARS warm-up. CARS stands for Controlled Articular Rotations. The idea here is that as we warm up our body, one joint to the next joint to the next joint down, that we are trying to gain mobility and strength at the same time. So you're going to hold tension through the rest of your body so that you're only moving the joint that we're talking about and you're not borrowing mobility from other parts of your body. Now what you're gonna need for this is a yoga block and a lacrosse ball. If you don't have any of these, no big deal. You can use a couple pillows, any other kind of ball about this size, and even like a couple of balled up socks will work too. Maybe not dirty balled up socks, but I don't know if you do it the same way I do, but they always end up looking like little balls in my drawer. So we're gonna get started. Go ahead and find a spot. I'm gonna put my stuff down here. And we're just going to work on the neck. Now, from the collarbone down, I'm going to bring tension through the rest of my body so that I can stretch just the neck. From here, you're gonna tip the chin down to your chest until you feel a stretch in the back of the neck, reaching the back of my head up towards the ceiling. From there, look over your right shoulder, tip your ear to the right shoulder, slowly look around back behind you, reaching the top of your head out away from your body. Ear comes to the left shoulder, rotate the nose over the left shoulder, and come back in. Let's go the other way. Rotate your head over the left shoulder. Tip your ear to that left shoulder. Slowly come around, looking back behind you, reaching into the stretch. Ear to the right shoulder, rotate, and down. Let's do that one more time in each direction. Tip the chin, rotate to the right, tip to the right, slowly come around, ear to the left, rotate to the left, and come down. Back the other way, see if we can get a little bit further. Rotate, tip, come back around, reaching through to the other side, and then back to the center. Okay, let's move down the body. So now we're gonna be working on the shoulder blades. Grab tension through the rest of the body, abs tight, glutes tight, thighs on. Pull your shoulders up to your ears. Now keep them high, pull them together behind your back. Pull them down your spine and then round forward. Again, let's go up. Let's pull them back behind you. Pull them down the spine and round forward. Last time like this, up, back, down, and round forward. Let's go the other direction. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears, pull them together behind your back, keep them together and pull them up towards your head. Rounding them forward and down you go. Down as far as you can, together as far as you can, up towards the head as far as you can, and forward as far as you can. Oh, last time, down, back, up, and round forward. All right, let's move to the shoulders. So here, I like to keep a hand on my rib cage. It kind of reminds me, so if I start getting some movement here through the ribs, that I have a hand there that says, hold on, lock it down there, sister. So here, nice and tight through the rest of the body. That hand is going to face the ceiling, and like you're lifting a heavy, heavy set of books towards the midline of your body, you're gonna come up. Nice and slow, that bicep's gonna come to the ears. There, my rib cage wanted to go up. You're gonna rotate those palms out away from your body, and then like you're pouring out an old can of beer, you're gonna take the hand back around again. I like to pretend like I am standing right next to this big wall of Jell-O. And I don't want to touch the Jell-O, but if I do, it's probably not a big deal, right? We're just trying to clear it. So imagine that you're trying to clear that Jell-O that's right by your side. Let's go the other direction. Push the hand back as far as you can until you get stuck. Unwind, palm to the ceiling, slowly come up and over. Let's do it again. Pushing back until you can't. Unwind it, come up and over. Last time through, push back until you can't. Unwind it and come up and over. Shake that out and to the other side, lifting that heavy stack of books nice and slow. You might find that one side feels a little different than the other, rotating that thumb under, and that's okay. Our bodies aren't completely symmetrical, but we want to pay attention to that. Make sure that we're not stretching into a pinch sensation. Stretching is okay, but if a closing angle is painful, that's something to really look out for. Back off on the intensity, lessen the range of motion until it feels less sticky. One more time like this. When you do this on your own, you can even go a little slower than me. You can pause me here, add more reps, go a little bit slower so that you can give yourself more time under tension to really build the heat and the strength in these movements. We're going backwards. Push your palm back until you get stuck. Unwind it. Coming over and down. And then again, pushing back until we get stuck. Unwind it. Coming up and down. Last time, pushing back, unwind, up and down. Okay, we are going to go to the spine. When we do the spine, I like to be down on the floor, and this is where your pillows or your brick can come in handy. I'm going to take the brick and kind of shimmy it back behind me and sit down on it. I like the brick because down on the floor here, I can feel my sit bones pressing down into the brick. If it is more comfortable for you to sit higher up, like in a chair, that's fine. If you can sit all the way down onto your heels, that's great too. So on the brick, I can feel my sit bones. I'm gonna try to keep them solid. I'm gonna try not to move my body at all from the belly button down. I'm gonna give myself a big hug. From here, you're gonna round the spine from the belly button up. From there, we're just gonna twist over the right hip. Hold that twist. Add a side bend. Slowly come around, back bending back behind you until you side bend to the left. Hold that bend, add a twist, and then come back down to the center. Let's do that again. Twisting, side bend. You should feel this all through the rib cage, into the core, all the way around. Sometimes we don't know how much we need these stretches until we do them. All right, let's switch the top arm. Hug up the other way, rounding the spine again, pulling the belly button into the spine, twisting over the left, hold that twist. Add a side bend. Slowly come around behind you until you side bend to the right, rotate to the right, and down. Last time here, twist, side bend, slowly come around, side bend to the other side, twist, and to the center. Okay, let's do the hips. I like to do the hips side lying. And for all of these, there's multiple positions that you could do these exercises in. This is just how I'm showing you today. So here's where your socks or your lacrosse ball can come in handy. I'm going to use the brick to just support my head so that I don't feel any tension in my neck and shoulders as I'm doing this. I'm going to take my lacrosse ball and squeeze it behind my knee so that I'm not tempted to borrow any mobility from any part of my body except for my hips. From here, I'm going to pull my knee all the way up to my chest. Slowly bring my knee up towards the ceiling. I'm going to put my hand here to make sure that I can feel it if my knee wants to collapse down, and I'm going to rotate my foot back behind me as much as I can. Keeping that rotation, my knee is going to come around, slowly reaching back behind me, kicking back until I can't anymore. Bring it down towards the floor, and then back into the center. Let's do it again. Up to the chest, up to the ceiling. Rotate your foot back behind your knee. Keep that rotation as you reach that leg back behind you, down to the floor, and then back in. If you want to do a few more in that rotation, go ahead and pause me now. And then we're going to kick back until we get stuck. Slowly lift up back there. This should be shaky. You should hate me right now. Slowly bringing that knee around to the side, around to the front, and through. Let's do it again. Big kick back until you get stuck. Now in that hip extension, you're slowly going to be lifting that knee. Yes. Bring it around to the side, to the front, and down. Let's go to the other side. I'm gonna support my head here. Going to put my lacrosse ball back behind my knee. And again, bring that knee up to the chest. Finding that end range as I come up. Rotating my foot back behind me without letting that knee collapse. Bringing the leg around, back behind me, down to the floor, and back in. Again, bring that knee up. Bring that knee up to the ceiling. Rotate that foot back behind you, finding the end range and everything. Is your core tight? Tighten it up if it's not. Reaching back, down to the floor, and in. All right, other direction. Big kick back until you get stuck. Slowly lift that knee up towards the ceiling, around to the side, and to the front. And again, big kick back, find the end range, slowly lift it up, come around, and down. Okay, let's take that lacrosse ball, set it aside, and come on up. From here, we're going to do our knees and ankles. So, take an arm, hook it under the right knee, and pull that thigh all the way into your chest. Now we're going to try to make an oval with our shin around our thigh. Rotate the toes in, come up, rotate out, and come down. The knee, of course, is a hinge joint, but it's not a perfect hinge joint. So seeking out this range of motion side to side on the knee helps us become stronger in areas where the knee tends to fail, where the pressure, like if we get hit on the side of the knee or we trip and we fall, let's go the other direction. This is where we tend to have impact injuries when it comes to our knees. And so this just makes us a little bit harder to hurt, yeah? So we're trying to stress the sides of the knees in order to strengthen those joints. One more time, rotate out and come up, rotate in and come down. Now stay on the same side, park that heel down on the floor, grab onto the front of the knee, and kind of scoot your leg out until your toes can barely get on the floor. You've got a nice stretch through the front of the foot here. Pulling those toes back, we're gonna slowly come around in a big circle. Seeking out the range of motion the whole way. Now this is a common place for people to cramp. And if you've already cramped in this series, welcome to the party. A lot of times we tend to cramp because our nervous system goes on overload. Let's go to the other direction. So if you know you're hydrated and you're cramping anyway, it could be because your nervous system is like, what is happening? What are you doing to me? This isn't a normal way that we move. And so if you can sort of flirt with the cramp, stay right on the edge of the cramp, breathe through the cramp, those will get better and better as you strengthen and gain range at the same time. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to hug our left thigh into the chest. We're gonna rotate the toes in, sweep them in, up, out, and down. Again, in, up, out, down. Last time. Up, out, and other direction. Out, up, in, and down. Getting that tension on the sides of the knee, stretching out through the hamstring. Okay, and then again, parking that heel, grabbing onto the front of the knee so that we're not moving around here as we're doing these rotations. Pull the toes back and big circles. Seeking out that range of motion the whole time. We're always trying to find the very edges of our limit. So you're pushing yourself nice and slow through these stretches, and that pushing itself helps you gain strength. Other direction. Good. Nice and slow. Remember, at any time, you can put me on pause, do a few more repetitions. 3 to 5 repetitions of all of this stuff is really ideal. And so that would be a great place to start. This is a good warm-up to do every day if you can, but at least a couple times a week. So give it a try. Let me know how you think. What do you think?